Hi, Maryline here. Today I'm talking you through a breathing technique called the golden thread exhalation and how we can use it in the context of labor. Let's get started. So let's go ahead with our breathing tutorial. As you can see, I'm sat on a ball, as really movement and breathing, when we're talking about labor, really those two things go hand in hand. So let's practice the breathing and learn the breathing without moving, and soon introduce a few little motion that will accompany your breathing practice. Okay? The first breathing technique I'd like to talk about is called the golden thread breath. It's a breath that involves lengthening the exhalation. We're looking at an out breath through the mouth, so out of the lips, and an inhalation through the nose. So remember the two different parts of the breath: inhale for energy, exhale for release and relaxation. And if we want to be even more specific, it could be four parts of the breath. There is the inhale, so that inviting life force, bringing energy in your body, really that sort of, lovely, almost sipping, almost, enjoying a cold drink or a fresh glass of water each time you inhale, nourishing each of the cells of yours and babies. And then there's the top of the inhalation, where we feel that fullness, that richness that has come with the inhale. Then comes the natural impulse to exhale. So we wait for that impulse to come. Exhaling, a slow release, a slow and steady exhale, fluid through the mouth. Here comes the end of the exhale. You are trying to lengthen the breath as long as it's comfortable. And at the end of the exhale, that little quick void moment is a place that is extremely restful, extremely rich in awareness when we start to play with the breath a little bit more intricately. So technique-wise, it's a simple inhale through the nose, and then an impulse to exhale out of the lips till the end. Then inhale again. Enjoy the richness for a split second. Exhale. And the key in this technique is really to make the exhale last longer. And how do we manage that? We're going to try to exhale through a tiny open lips, not your standard exhale. Alright? So the lips come together almost, just slightly parted. Okay, here comes this idea that the breath is going to spin out of your lips, like would a piece of embroidery yarn. So it's an inhale through the nose for energy, and exhale in, slow release, the exhale out in front of you. There's lots of visualizations you can use. You could send the breath out in the distance with that little spirally action, or you could send the breath out and around baby and through the birth canal. You can send your exhale into somewhere in the room if you've got a visual, a portrait, a piece of art, or anything really. Be the corner of the room, the ceiling, the floor, anywhere in particular. It doesn't matter. It could be the eyes of a loved one. Basically, we're trying to match as well the vision where that exhale might be going to. And the purpose of that being that we want to occupy the mind, give it something to do. The minute the mind will start to really study the sensation and notice, the frequency and the depth and the broadness of the sensation, it might start to get tired, to register that this is ongoing and not fun. So we want to occupy the mind as much as possible. Okay, so through a deep inhaling, where we're mindful all the way through, and exhale to lengthen. So practically speaking, during contractions, it's really hard to inhale very deeply. We're sort of desperate to exhale when sensations are building up in our bodies. Pretend someone is coming to pinch my waist. Okay, so I'm trying hard to inhale, but all I want is that exhale, release. Okay, so we want to sort of counter the sensation using that long and fully relieving exhale. But the birth partner plays a really great role here. Birth partners are here to notice if you are inhaling really short and perhaps lacking that potential for getting lots of fresh energy through each breath cycle. Okay? So it's very simple, really. Inhaling through the nose, slow breath out through the lips. Make sure the lips are soft. Okay? And then we follow that exhale wherever you want. You might have your eyes closed, the exhale travels, if you imagine it. Or you might have the eyes open and picture exactly where the breath goes. And how do we match this breath with some movement? Sitting on the ball, for instance, is a good way to help the pelvis to open, to help baby travel down the birth canal, to help the dilation process. So we're circling the hips. We imagine baby's head pressing against the cervix. We are circling and helping the dilation as the sensations are present. Okay, so moving the hips in a circular motion or in any sort of rhythmic motion will be really helpful. You might choose to bounce slightly, or you might choose to sway your hips. I'd like you to find your own way. What is your favorite way to move, or just improvise it and move your pelvis in lots of direction onto this ball. Okay, you might find it helpful to mix and match, to rock sideways, to rock forward and back, or circle. Okay, and how would this work in the context of labor? We could use the inhale, exhale, again inhale, exhale. Notice that the pace might pick up in your breathing, especially as you are reaching the peak of the contraction. So you might feel that your breath goes faster. Still soft lips. And then in the back of your mind, you notice the sensation starting to dissolve, to be less intense. So then is the time for you to slow down the breath, to lengthen the inhale again more comfortably, and lengthen the exhale also more comfortably. Remember that in between sensations, between surges, your task is to recover, to grab some drinks, something sweet, some seeds or nuts, or grab an energy drink, or your favorite juice, or just simply to be and do nothing. If you need a drink or something to sustain you energy-wise, like a piece of cereal bar or anything like that, ask your birth partner to do that for you. And in that precious time between sensations, really rest and save your energy. The birth partners, whilst you are dealing with sensations, are going to also check that your hands aren't tensing, that your jaw isn't clenched, and that you're not, wasting energy in any particular way. So it's important to have somebody that knows about the process of labor, and they'll be able to coach you, to help you, to provide you with all those little external little bits of help, so that you can really just concentrate on your breathing, long, steady, slow, steady breath as much as possible, with the little pickup, shortening at the peak of the sensation. Okay, so some sort of slow breathing in between, a little bit of a pace as you're going up the hill of the contraction, riding that wave, and then are you able to again slow down your breath and go back to that peaceful valley or peaceful part of the ocean where you might be resting as you wait for the next surge. Whilst we are on the subject of breathing for labor, I would like also to point out this amazing labor position here. Knees protected, so I've added a couple of pillows here under my knees and a protection over the ball here. So this would be also an amazing way to handle your sensations, okay? Leaning forward and moving rhythmically like we've mentioned before. And then where does the golden thread come in? Here we would, in this position, inhale deeply for energy. And exhale your way. Send in the exhale. Be present all the way through, and be present at the end of your out breath. Place of rest. And a mindful moment to rest deeply. Before you inhale again for energy, and breathe out. Okay, so eyes closed or eyes open. You can move in any ways you want, forward and back, with the same principle of keeping the lips really soft. Moving all the way through whilst the sensations are lasting. And when the sensations are gone, grabbing hold of extra support even for being ready to rest and restore your energy levels quietly here. Okay. So during your labor, a series of up and downhill actions here with your breath, inhaling, energy exhaling, as you're riding the wave of the sensation, and visualization of any kind, whether you are partial to mountains, whether you like to imagine that you're climbing up a hill, or riding on your bike, or trekking anywhere you've been before, any sort of vision that will take you away from the basic scene of being laboring. Will help you to cope and offer you some mechanism to last for longer and improve your comfort. Here's another tip about using the golden thread exhalation for labor. As we have been mentioning, the lengthening of the out breath being the key to that technique, you might want to consider counting your breath and finding a rhythm that suits you on the day. If you follow certain hypnobirthing methods, they will advise you to inhale for 4 and exhale for a mental count of 8. You would rehearse these counting and this rhythm over and over, and associate getting to number 8 with that really feeling when you've completed a cycle and you're relaxing all the way through as the exhale travels. So it is a technique that shouldn't be improvised on the day. If you're using the numbers and the counting, practice it beforehand, rehearse it, and make sure it's right for you. Okay? If you want to make up your own rhythm, maybe inhale for 3 or 4 and then exhale for 12 or exhale for 6. Work out something that will work for you, and it's okay. Remember that the lengthening of the exhalation switches on the parasympathetic nervous system, so you're resting in your calm and collected sort of mode. So always make sure that you don't compromise the length of the inhale. You inhale enough for energy, and that you have a long enough exhale so that your body can register that it is going through a relaxing experience. So practice those in for 4, out for 8 if they work for you. As a demo, it could be something like this. If you pick a position, perhaps your leg is out to the side. Remember, this could be a ball, but also you could be by the edge of the birthing pool, resting over a towel or something that you've placed around the pool. You could be also holding onto the handles of the pool, or simply resting on your partner's knees. If your partner would be sat here in front of you, their legs make a really great prop here for you to deal with your sensations. Okay, so we would inhale for 4, in 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and again 3, 4, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The more you will close the lips during the exhalation, the longer it will take for the exhale to come out. So if you want to reach that nice and long ratio, you might be more successful if you close the lips a little. See what works for you. Remember, the breath should feel comfortable. It should be your ally. It should be something that helps you and not worries you. Here's all you need to know about the golden thread exhalation. I have a few audio tutorials you can practice with if you would like a full and guided practice. I hope that you will find this helpful. Many moms have come back to me saying, the golden thread, it was magical. It really helped them, and they followed it all the way through during their labor. It was like a lifeline. I hope you get a similar experience, and it is one of the breaths that you remember from your labor experience.